Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be taking a look at another survival fishing kit from Vigilant Trails. This one's going to be the Self Snag Kit Stage 1. I'm a huge proponent of carrying fishing gear with you all the time when you're in the woods. And a survival fishing kit like this is something you can just slip in your pocket or slip in your bag, put in your haversack. And if you don't really plan on fishing and you encounter water and just want to recreationally fish, you can do that. If you were stuck in a survival situation, food's not going to be your number one priority, but after you get all your other priorities done, once you've got your shelter and your water and your fire, I'm going after food. And a fishing kit, if I've got access to water, is going to always be my best choice of getting food from the wild. Vigilant Trails has a lot of pocket-sized survival fishing kits on their website. They don't just put some hooks and string in a kit and call it good. You can really tailor the kit to your environment and what your expectations are. I've already reviewed a Stage 1, a Stage 2, and a Stage 3 pocket fishing kits that are all going to be based off hand fishing and using a hand reel. I've reviewed a survival trot line fishing kit, but these Self Snag Hooks are kind of unique. This is something that's going to be used for passive fishing primarily, but you can cast these out. So this actually is going to set the hook for you. Some of Vigilant Trails' larger survival fishing kits have one of these Self Snag Hooks in them, but this is a whole kit dedicated to it. So I've got 5 Self Snag Hooks all in this small tin ready to go. If this is the kind of thing you like to see, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Burning River Bushcraft. I also teach outdoor classes at Outdoorcore.com. So the Type 1 Self Snag Kit is based on the popular Altoid size 10. So this size 10, you can slip this in your shirt pocket. This will fit in most any survival kit. You could carry this in a belt pouch. I love this size 10 for compact survival kits like this. Let's pop this open and see what we have in here. So I have an instruction sheet, and here's the items in the tin. Right off the top, we've got a card. And this has different types of rigs. It's got different types of knots, how to fish different types of bait. So next thing I'm going to grab here right off the top is I've got a small lockback knife. Now these have been in all of the survival fishing kits. So originally I did not think this was a good idea, and I questioned why pack an inexpensive folding knife in a survival fishing kit. However, I have completely reversed my decision on this. This is an inexpensive knife. This is sharp enough to fillet fish. You could do survival tasks with it, but I carry a knife with me. I carry a good knife with me all the time. And probably the best advantage to having a knife like this would be if I'm using a knife over water, there's a chance I could lose my knife. So a survival knife is your most precious resource, and anytime I can keep that knife in its sheath if I'm over water, that's going to be a much, much better thing. So I also have the ability to use this as a grub knife. So if I was doing something that was extremely hard on a knife, say I was filleting a fish over stone, or I was trying to harvest some pine sap, or just something that's less than ideal that I really wouldn't want to do with my good knife, having a little knife like this doesn't take up any space, and I would be thankful to have this with me. So with that knife out of the way, I have a clip-on float, which I am happy to have, and I've got some small soft baits as well. So a bobber is really important for sight fishing, but also if you find the level that the fish are at, you can repeatedly go right back to that exact same level. You don't have to worry about drift. You don't have to worry about counting as the bait drops down. A bobber, you throw it out there and you're going to be fishing the same depth repeatedly, and I think that is a great thing. Now this soft bait, this looks closest to like a kernel of corn, actually. So it's a bright yellow bait. It's going to be attracted to fish. Probably a natural bait would be my first choice, but you should have a backup. You should be able to open this kit and start fishing. I don't necessarily want to have to go instantly start flipping logs and digging for worms just to catch some fish. With the knife, the float, and the bait out, you can see I've got my Self Snag Hooks, as well as instructions on the bottom. I've got 5 of these Self Snag Hooks in the kit. Now, I don't have any line, I don't have hooks. and these are not pre-baited. So the Self Snag fishing kit is going to be an add-on. This is something that I would want to add to my stage 1, my stage 2, or my stage 3 primary fishing kit. So I'll do a separate video on how to rig these up and how to use them and how they actually function. But I have a ton of experience with these things. I really like it. So this is in the set position right now. And you're going to run some line through this swivel, down through this hole, and then when the fish pulls on the bait, it's going to spring open. So that quick short spring action is more than enough force to set the hook in a fish's mouth. And this is more than enough force to set the hook in your own hand. So that's something to be aware of. You can also use these for trapping. This is a really handy thing. So I've got a swivel on top, and this is the end that I would actually suspend from a limb. I can hang this from that bobber. I can also just put this on a line and cast it out. And then I'm going to close it down and set the second swivel. Now here's again, just the slightest bit of downward force as that fish bites. And we are eating dinner. So with 5 of these things, you're really not going to miss bites. With the slightest pull of this, you're actually going to set the hook, and then that fish is waiting for you on the other end of this. So you can combine that small pocket 10 with the stage 1, 2, or 3 survival fishing kit. Each of those has about 10 hooks. There's plenty of line on that hand reel. You can rig these up, and you are without a doubt going to be eating well. So this is a nice usable kit. Everything goes right back in that tin. You're able to use this stuff, actually catch fish with it, even if you're just camping. This is a great way to passively set hooks, and you're going to be catching fish with these pretty darn easy. If you set these in the evening, you're going to have fish for breakfast. You just got to be careful and make sure you don't catch more fish than you are planning on eating when you've got 5 of these Self Snag hooks available. All right, till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.